Hello, trumpet players. This is Mr. Kruger, and this is an introductory lesson on your first region band etude. That is etude number 1. Okay, the first thing that you should do when you get a new piece of music is you gravitate over here to the top left corner and you look at this key signature. Okay, and we see 1 sharp in the key signature, and to a young trumpet player, that you've got to make sure that maybe you're thinking 2 things, because I know a lot of trumpet players, they like to play F natural and they like to play B flat. So, if you know that you really like playing B flat all the time, then you would go ahead and you would mark a natural in front of your B here. Okay, that's kind of a sloppy natural, but there you go. And you would go ahead and you'd mark your F sharps. Now you've seen I've marked a number of the F sharps. I think I may have marked all of them. Nope, missed that one in measure 7. But I marked my F sharps so that when I play this, I don't have to worry about remembering that F is sharp. I'm less likely to make an error, and so I'll practice more perfectly. All right, so we got the key signature figured out. F sharp is the only sharp, and no flats, right? Okay, let's see. So there might be a couple notes that are accidentals that we don't see very often. You might need a friendly reminder as to how do you finger these notes? What is this note? Such as, look here at measure 10. Okay, this is C sharp. All right, we don't see C sharp very often. Okay, and the way you're going to finger that C sharp is you're going to push down all 3 valves, and you're going to need to kick your slides. Okay, it's a sharp note, so you've got to kick those slides to get it to sound in tune. All right, I would suggest using a tuner to figure out how far you need to kick your slides. Okay, I think that's all the accidentals that need any kind of explanation. So the next thing we look at are the rhythms. Okay, well, we're lucky here. We've got an easy time signature, 4/4 time. Everybody knows how to read them 4/4 time after the first year. Okay, and we've got, this is a relatively slow tempo, quarter note equals 80. So this is going to be a slower, a pretty piece of music. That's what we're going to try to turn this music into. Now, the first measure, everybody should be able to count that really easily. We got a half note on 1. It ends on beat 3, and then we've got 8th notes, 3 and 4 and, right? So that would go 1. If I put my metronome on, give me just a second, put that metronome on. Then it's going to go, we'll go a hair slower since we're learning. 1, 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, and then we have another half note here, right? Okay, so, but this half note, you see it's got this curved line. So we've got this G connected to this G. That's not a slur, right? That's a tie. And so this tie, pause that metronome, might be, this tie is going to hold beyond the beginning of beat 3, right? Because this half note would take us to beat 3. It's 2 beats long. And then this 8th note right here happens on beat 3. But if you start an 8th note on beat 3, it ends on the and of 3, right? So this G that we tongue is on the and of 3. So we have and, 4, and, right? And then easy quarter note, 1, 2. Okay, so if I were going to count measure 2, I would count it like this. Listen. 1 and 4 and 1. Listen again. 1 and 4 and 1, 2. You see how that works? All right. And so you have that rhythm a lot. You got it over here in measure 5. You got it in measure 6. Okay, so it happens quite a few times. There's only really maybe 1 or 2 other rhythms that are tricky in here. Let's look at measure 9. We have a staccato, so that's going to have some space, a little bit of silence between the first note and the second note. Second note full value here with this tenuto mark. So that's going to go 1, 2, and then it's off on beat 3. You see there's an 8th rest on 3, but then you play on the and of 3, and then that's and 4 and, right? So this is going to sound like this. 1, 2, and 4 and 1 and 2, 1, 2, on 4. Same thing. Look, wait, so that's different. Look over here. I've heard so many trumpet students miscount this measure because they don't pay attention to how long this dotted half note is. It lasts for 2, 3, 4. You got to think those numbers before you move on to E flat here. Okay? By the way, this is also E flat right here. That flat carries, so be careful about that. Okay? All right, so those are some important tips. Dotted quarter gets 1.5 beats. We'll count that 1 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and count the whole thing for you as a learning aid. It would be smart to go ahead and finger along while I count. Here we go. 1, 2, here I go. 1, 3 and 4 and 1 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 3, 1 and 4 and 1 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 3, 1, 2 and 4 and 1 and 2, 1, 2 and 4 and 1, 1, 2 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 3 and 4 and 1. And that's how it goes. I want to bring attention to one last thing. At measure 9 and over in 11, that second note needs to touch beat 3. Make sure it touches 3. Okay, that should help you get off to a good start on this etude. Best of luck.